Hey guys, Be Twice here. Today is Sunday, July 11th. We're going to look at a handful more stocks just to get an update. We're going to start off with PLTR. PLTR is one of my favorites. I am long PLTR. I have been since I think like 11 a share. I think I found PLTR running an unusual option scanner on Thinkorswim, and I saw that there was huge open interest and volume on some calls on some random PLTR company. So I was like, what the hell is PLTR? So I Googled it. I saw its market cap at the time, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is this company? And then I saw, I don't know if it was a Motley Fool article or something like that that was like, oh, PLTR is like Snow, and I'm like, oh, I've heard of Snow before because it was like a Wall Street Bets favorite at the time before PLTR even became one. And I googled Snow, and I saw its market cap, which was significantly higher, and obviously Warren Buff's whole hoopla with Snow and all that shit. So I was like, well, why the hell is PLTR so undervalued? So I bought a bunch of shares at like 11 a piece, I think, like that. And I should have bought Leaps, honestly. They were so cheap back then. But I bought a bunch of shares, and then obviously PLTR became a Wall Street Bets favorite, and then the rest is history. With that being said, I really like PLTR. I do think it's going to be going sky high in the upcoming future, maybe 5, 10 years, something like that. I'm not going to put price targets out there for something that far in the future because you guys will all think I'm a psychopath. And not only that, but you can't really scalp options if you're looking at stuff that far in the future. So it's nice to look at wave theory on like the hourly to try to figure out where you can get in and out so you can make some quick money, especially because you can get some huge percent gains in options if you catch wave threes. You can get in and out within a couple days and get a few 100% return. So with that being said, let's look at PLTR. So before everybody kills me, yeah, like I just said, I'm long PLTR, but unfortunately I see more downside. What I see is that we've had a 5-wave impulse down from this 27 range, which if you guys watched my first PLTR video ever, I said it was going to go somewhere up here, and then ultimately we're going to pull back. We have to. Um, Now, with that being said, I see 5 waves down. Now, could this be bottom? Yeah, it could be bottom, so I could be wrong, but unfortunately, I'm only seeing the one impulse down, so I'm seeing it as a wave A. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to pop back up for a B somewhere in this 25 range. Now, bulls, you want to get above, that 27. Once you get past above that 27, obviously my count is wrong, and we're going to be heading up for wave 3 already, and that would mean that this was wave 2 bottom. If this was wave 2 bottom, my price target's about 38 for wave 3, and that's why I said I'm long shares, and I'm not scalping those just because I do know once it does catch bottom, we'll be in a wave 3 and we'll be launching to the 30s pretty quickly. But ultimately, for me to play options on this name, I want to see it closer to this $20 range. So what I want to see happen, kind of because I'm greedy, is that I want to see a 3-wave move up to 25. Once we get up to this 25 range, I'm kind of hoping that it'll be around a market correction of a few percent, something like that. And ultimately, PLTR, given that it's a growth name, it's gonna die a lot more than the rest of the market. From there, I do think it will pull back down to the lower 20s, maybe even 2063. That would be the perfect 61.8% retracement. This is the window that I would like to see for me to buy options again on PLTR, aiming for the 38 window. Now, with that being said, even though I'm going to wait to go in options down here, I'm still long shares. And if it does cross above this wave 1 peak, which is 27.5, if it breaks above that, I will be buying options at that time, betting on it to go up to the wave 3 price target of 38. With that being said, there's a couple different ways you can play this. If you're super aggressive, you just want to say, screw it, I'm going to get in now, whether it's shares or options, you could, and just, buy yourself a lot of time just in case it does go back up and pull back down. The conservative way to play it is to wait till this buy zone down here, or wait till you have verification that this has already bottomed. Unfortunately, the only way to have verification that this has already bottomed is when you pass this 2750 range. So it's good idea here to set 2 different alerts, right? So set an alert below 22 and set an alert above here. I watch it on a daily basis. I do have the alert down here, but ultimately I'll know if I'm wrong once we start getting up here. And then we'll just look for dips to buy. So if it does go back above 2750, at that point in time, we'll want to buy a dip so that we can get a good premium on our options, betting for it to go towards 40. But with that being said, the long-term price target on PLTR is extremely high. I just haven't charted it out. As long as that company doesn't do anything stupid, it wouldn't surprise me if it was at $100 a share here in the next maybe 5 years or so. All right, enough on PLTR. All right, guys. So Tesla. I've been back and forth on Tesla. Obviously, if you've been watching my videos for the last couple months, you know. Ultimately, a couple weeks ago when we broke out of this triangle, I flipped script and was like, you know what? Even though I was favoring the bear count before, it made me start to say, you know what? I'm favoring the bull count, even though I knew the entire time we were going to go visit this area. Um, so hopefully I'm not wrong here. Hopefully we didn't just visit this area just to go down to that 425 range, and my initial bear thesis was right because obviously I'll be pissed. But with that being said, I am still hedged because I know the bear thesis is valid. But what I'm seeing is that we just bottomed for a wave two. And I called this out on Thursday that I thought the Tesla dip was a buy. I went over that a little bit more detail in the other video. And ultimately, I ended up pulling profit that day off Tesla because I doubled down here and then ultimately was able to hold calls on the entire wave up. So hopefully, I haven't sold them yet. So hopefully it doesn't take a turn for the worse here. But what I think is going to happen is we could still see a little bit more downside. I think we did bottom here, but I'm not going to say, hey, we definitely bottom there. We could still see a little bit more downside. If we do, I'm still going to say all dips on Tesla are a buy. I do think that our wave 3 price target is somewhere between 750 up to 782. Now, the reason I bumped it from the okay, so what I did was I had a price target by using the extension off of this wave 1 and 2, because I'm seeing a 1-2-1-2 nest here, there's no way that the wave 3 could happen at 720 without us invalidating by breaking the rules of wave 3. So I went back and re-looked this whole thing over, and basically what I'm seeing is that our wave 3, our red wave 3, should take us somewhere between 750 to 782. Now, I think this whole thing is going to end up relying on earnings. I think going into earnings, it's in 2 weeks. We're going to be somewhere into this like lowish 700 range at that point in time. Yeah, because earnings are happening right here, 721. So with that being said, I do think we're going to be somewhere in this low 700s, maybe around 720. And then ultimately earnings is what's going to decide the fate of this thing. If the earnings are great, then we're going to all-time highs. If the earnings are trash, then I'm probably going to get cooked on my options. And that's why it's a good thing to stay hedged here. But either way, still bullish on Tesla. I still think dips are a buy. All right, let's take a look at NIO. Might as well take a look at NIO while I'm looking at Tesla. So right here, what I'm seeing happen is that there's two things. I've taken off the bear count off of here, and the reason I did so is because I'm favoring the bull count. Bear count is still valid, so hopefully I'm not wrong. But because I favor the bull count, I'm leaving it up here. And the reason I took the main bear count off is because I have a different bear count on here, which is still part of a bull thesis on NIO. So basically, what I'm seeing is that we pulled up for a bull one at this 55 range, and we're looking to come down for a wave two. So now we have had a zigzag. We've had an A, B, C. So because we've had an ABC, this could be bottom. We're somewhere right around the 50% retracement. So the bottom could be in already. We could have popped up for a one, pulled back for a two. We're heading up for three, pulled back for four, head up for five, and then obviously that'd be a one, and then another one, two, three, four, five. You know what I mean? All the way up to this. I have it as a $65 price target, but I could have sworn at one video I had it at 80. So with that being said, either way, yeah, I think that's right. It's the wave 3 price target is 80, and then your wave 4 would end up back here at the 65 range. That's what it is. So either way, we're looking for this wave 2 bottom, or we have found it. So the bulls are saying right now that, hey, we've already found this thing. We pulled up for one, pulled back for two. We're going to rally up for three, four, and then ultimately going up to all-time highs. The bears are saying, no, it's going to get rejected. So when you pull down for this ABC and you've got your W, then you're going to pull up for X and you're going to be pulling back for Y. So the bears see this thing coming back down for Y. Generally, what ends up happening is that between the 50 to 61.8% retracement of this move down for C is where you're going to find your X. I put it right at this 100% mark. It's probably a little bit higher, but either way, I drew this red line. So the bears see us following this red line. Either way, I see us rallying up from where we currently stand. We probably go back and touch at least 50 or close to it. And then if the bears win this thing out, then we're going to get rejected and we're going to be heading back down to the low 40s. And if the bulls win, then ultimately we're going to all-time highs. So I do like NIO long term as a shareholding company, just without scalping it at all. But if I'm going to buy some options on this thing, I want to wait for it to actually touch right around $40 a share. All right, so I'm going to take a look at Corsair Gaming, just because somebody did request it. So we're going to take a look at it. So Corsair Gaming, I got stopped out of it. It's super manipulated. I really liked it as a long-term hold, and I still do like it as a long-term hold. But based on the fact that we had this massive pump and then we pulled back, we were, and what I'm seeing is that we were in this ascending triangle, which is great. It's extremely bullish. But what ended up happening was, it got pumped on Wall Street bets. It rallied up to this downtrend line, got rejected in a big way, came back down. We bounced off of our uptrend line. We only were able to get back up to about the 50% retracement. And then from that level, we actually pulled back. We broke the uptrend line and we went down to my stop loss. And my stop loss was where I drew this red line. A few videos ago, I talked about that and basically said, hey, if we go beneath this support, which you can see there's a candlestick here that didn't cross, there's a candlestick here it didn't cross. I just basically set up a stop loss on my account that said if we go beneath here, I'm out. And that's just because it just seems super manipulated. And it would mean that I'm clearly wrong on my account because I was seeing this as a wave E bottom here, and I'm wrong. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of watch this over the next few weeks. Maybe we can break back into the ascending triangle and then look for a position. But I would be inclined here to wait until we get above the resistance at 35 to take a trade. I'd like to see it break 35 and then see it pull back and test that support after it breaks it. That's what I would probably do if I'm not already in this name. Is I would wait till it breaks 35. It'll back test on that 35. Then I would go long. Or if you want to play super conservative, you could just wait till it breaks the downtrend line. So with that being said, here that's what I have for CRSR. Sorry, I couldn't be more of help on this one, but I'm just not seeing where it's going right now. So I'm out, and I'm not going to be taking a trade until I can see where it's going. So one last one that I haven't really looked at was CCIV, just because I did NIO and Tesla, I might as well look at it. So I did a video late last week about it that all dips were a buy. I think I did it on Thursday, and then we had a 2.5% gain day on Friday. So with that being said, I still see this thing going to 40. Could it still head lower from here? Sure, as long as it doesn't pass this 2183 or whatever this is, right? This 100% line that I have on here. As long as it doesn't pass that, then we're still technically in this wave 2. So right now we could have just rallied up a little bit, and then we could ultimately still pull back more. If we do pull back more, I would buy every single dip. Just because I do think that we're going to be going to this $40 range sometime within the next couple months. This is another one that, unless I'm buying leaps, I'm probably not buying options on it. Because when this move is going to happen, nobody knows. And to top it off, this is a SPAC that in the next couple weeks is changing tickers. And if anybody knows anything about SPACs, a lot of times when they change tickers, they sell off. So it's better to hold either shares or, if you want to gamble a little bit, buy warrants because of the extended time period you have. At least you know with the warrants, they're probably not going to be called in for exercising until 30 days after the ticker change. So with that being said, since it's above, $18 or 18.50, after 30 days, they will call those in. So make sure if you want to take the shares, you have the cash. But with all said and done, $40 price target on CCIV. The question is, when are we going to hit it? Hopefully within the next probably 2-3 months. All right, guys, if you like these videos, go ahead and hit like and subscribe.